Welcome back to the National Security Hour. I'm Ed Huglin, your host this evening, and with me in a enthralling thriller, but a real life thriller, is Dr. Yen, who's now giving us some insights in terms of what happened to her and how she was able to escape Hong Kong. So, Dr. Yen, there's so many questions here before we go on from where you left off as you're just getting ready to escape Hong Kong. Is for our audience to just think about this for a minute. She takes the risk first of getting information out to lewd media, okay, an anti-CCP organization. That's risk number one. And the Chinese monitor damn near everything. All right. So very hard to do just in that. And then she relays the information to her husband, and you can hear from her voice and listen to what she just said. He then begins acting strangely, has different discussions in other languages, Sri Lankan language and stuff, and then tries to poison her. Okay, based on what she's saying, or tries to poison her, which is just unbelievable. Thankfully, her colleagues saw that, had her go to the doctor, but during all this stuff, it's almost like a living nightmare. During the same time, then she has to try to get past her sickness, the sleepiness and stuff, and find her way to the airport and stuff. And you still have all this surveillance going on. And so just amazing, Dr. Yen. You have me speechless. Once you pick up as you're getting to the airport and how you're able to make it out of Hong Kong.
So one thing is I was lucky because I'm not a mainland China citizen at that time. I hold Hong Kong passport. So although there were travel ban, I still could enter the United States. And also, very luckily, several months before the pandemic, I came to the US to visit a friend. So I still hold a valid US visa. So these two things make me have no problem to enter the US. However, I was immediately stopped when I brought my luggage in Los Angeles airport because there is a 8-hour gap, and I would take the next flight to New York. So that comes very dramatic too, because there were two customer officers waiting for me. They just walked to me and said, "Are you Li Mengyan? And come with me." And so I came with them to go to their working place. And initially, they start to ask me questions about my basic information. So I gave them the information they're checking. And then they're asking why I came there. So I told them, because it lasted for a while, I was very nervous because I heard there are a lot of CCP's agents in Los Angeles. To be honest, I really don't know what happened. So I told them finally, I said, "Please don't hurt me. Don't send me back to China. I came here because I'm the whistleblower of COVID-19 and China is hunting me. And please protect me." So they try to know what exactly happened. And they bring my luggage and other things, go to check, and then come back to ask me questions. And also, after a while, I mean, they were very nice to me. After a while, they bring the FBI came. And actually, I was so excited to see FBI. When the two FBI agents showed me, "I'm the FBI, this is my license, we believe you, but we won't trust you. So would you like to talk to us?" I said, "Oh, it's the first time I see the live FBI agents. I saw a lot of movies." Yeah. So they bring me to an individual room, ask me what I know about COVID, why I came here, and something. I have shown them a screenshot that I have video talk with Moscow and Steve Bannon and Mr. Hood. I said, you know Bannon, right? He's the guy on TV. So maybe that makes them feel something very interesting. And so anyway, after several hours talking, the agent said, "Yeah, we believe you. You want to go to," because he said, "If I can't convince them, I can't make them trust me, I can't go to New York. But after like around 2 hours talking, they make the note and they said, yeah, we will help you to go to New York. And even at that time, Homeland Security team appeared. They were also nice. They talked with FBI and said, oh, what can we help you? Do you need our protection? I said, yes, please protect me. I'm so scary. And then they just disappear. So the thing is, after whole almost 8 hours talking, they confirmed I'm telling the honest things, and I'm here to help the United States to know the COVID origin. And the customer officer were very nice to me. They asked me, oh, will we see you on TV later? I said, should be, huh? And then later I got evidence that actually during around 10-hour flight between Hong Kong and Los Angeles, why the customer are so aware of me? Because China embassy put me as a missing person. How could they do that? My husband helped the police, and plus some of my school alumni who are working with CCP as agent among students and teachers, they create my case and managed to find someone who know me, also worked as police in California, to report to local police that I'm a missing person kidnapped by others. So the family wanted me to be deported for my safety. And China embassy using this pretext to intervene, try to deport me in the custom. Fortunately, American officers are not that stupid and not that corrupted. I mean, they really did their work and they talked to me and they realized it's not that easy. So they allowed me to go to the United States, and I went to New York after that.
Wow. I mean, so for the audience here, just listening to what Dr. Yin's telling you, you live here in a free state, a free country. You have individual rights and freedoms like no place else on earth. Now, here's a woman who's seen what happened with the COVID virus and the millions of people who are dying from it. Risks her life, has her husband try to poison her, apparently, and then has to go through all these different ropes and things while she's sick and trying to escape from Hong Kong. Thank God you had the Hong Kong passport and the valid visa still, because otherwise they would have been able to probably stop you completely unless you did some other secret type of escape here. But think of that for Americans, is that they would make her disappear in a heartbeat, as they make hundreds of thousands of people in China each year disappear. Okay. This is the story behind when you see Dr. Yin's posts on X, you see her on Fox News or with Dr. Drew or with other celebrities and stuff like that. They're always talking about the information she has on China and COVID and stuff like that. But the reason I wanted to talk to her today on this is this is the story you all need to hear. This is the reality of the evil CCP regime. This is the reality of the evil. And I want you to go into a little bit in terms of Mr. Gao, because this is really important also, because there's been a number of conservative fundraising events around the United States that Mr. Gao was involved in and provided lots of funding. Go.
Guo.
Whoa. Okay. Whoa.
Yeah. Guo.
Okay. Whoa. Thank you.
No, is that name?
No. That's very good. You know, correct my pronunciation, but he provided funding to a number of these different events. But what you're hearing from Dr. Yin is that if this man is truly a CCP spy, okay, a front, and for one thing, any billionaire in China is a member of the CCP, okay, plain and simple. You don't get to be a billionaire in China like Jack Ma, okay, or other places unless you are a member of the CCP. So the fact that he plays this anti-CCP thing is very interesting. But you could see from Bannon and others and these conservative events, a lot of people bought into that because China knows they buy into what? The money. And they get the money. And they get these people to sign up for different things, okay? And then they find different compromising information on them. And then the route continues in terms of how they compromise people and get themselves into the party get themselves into the echelons of the United States of America. So Dr. Yan, can you give us a little bit more background in terms of Mr. Guo and also Lude Media? Because I've been on with you a number of times, Mr. Lude's program, stuff like that. And for Americans, you need to understand it, you know, now with Google Translate and stuff, you can look at his posts as well on X. You can look at his material on X, and he does American translations, but he also has the Chinese translations. But this is where you're going to get real information, as Dr. Yin had pointed out, from sources you'll never see anyplace else in the United States. Okay. And our intelligence community and national security apparatus folks ought to be leveraging, if they're not already, Lude Media's contacts, Dr. Yen, and their knowledge stuff to help fight the CCP and drive them. But give us a little bit more insight in terms of Mr. Guo and what's happened there with Lude Media and how you've been able to set up to help continue to broadcast on that platform and tell people what's actually happening in China.
So yes, Mr. Lude very strongly anti-CCP and Xi Jinping, and he's very I would say he's a very brilliant person. He's an engineer background, so he has this kind of engineer trained thinking with very strong logics to analyze things. And because he was a businessman in China before he came to US in 2015, he has a lot of experience about Chinese society, much more than me. I only stay in the university and the hospital. And in the Miles Guo, I mean, he jumped out around 2017. I remember all the media focused on his story because he claimed he's escaped billionaire in China. He owns the best hotel, 6-star Pangu Hotel in Beijing. He owns so many properties, and he said he's persecuted by CCP. So he claimed he come here to reveal the darkness of CCP, and that's really draw attention from all over the world. And I get to know Miles Guo because around 2019 Hong Kong pro-democracy protest. During that time, I see the change in Hong Kong. So I was looking for the truth, and I listened to many bloggers. I listened to Guo and I listened to Lude. And actually, I listened to Lude more than that because Lude's analyze every day in his live streaming twice broadcast based on the news really can make me feel, yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, that can be verified. But Guo's thing is more kind of talking about some inside information about who, which big guys get something, which big business guy has some scandal. I listened to some, but he always show his really strongly anti-CCP, and he also invite Lude to help him at that time. So that's why I get to know both of them. And so turns out, I mean, after within 1 year since I came to the US, although at that time I didn't see him until I realized his true face. I mean, in that 1 year, Guo is kept kind of call me and Lude, have some kind of meeting like every 1 or 2 weeks. And also he's telling people that I'm saved by his campaign. And then also he said this virus truth is so important. Of course, he want to help me to let people know that. Turns out a lot of things happened during that 1 year, including my husband came to New York and know my address. So he want to stop the Fox News to play the interview. He called Fox News and tried to postpone, delay. Finally, Fox News, the attorneys have to issue the statement that this guy is not reliable and plays the interview about me. And also he is working with China's law enforcement to hunt me. Who gave him my address? Turns out it's Guo. So Guo want to use my reputation and the information I revealed about virus origin to further gain trust from conservative parties, further influence Americans. And during that, he could mix the misinformation to mislead you. And then at the same time, he want to figure out whether I have some other source behind me in China, who is Luda's other sources, and then they want to remove me and Luda.
So this is very interesting, because this goes to what we've been talking about on unrestricted warfare and cognitive warfare. Okay, so people think what she's saying here. Okay, Mr. Wu, and I hope I can pronounce that right, but I apologize if I don't. But here he is, and China understands they can't just come in America and grab people. In some cases, they actually do. They actually do grab some Chinese people and take them out of the country, okay, under duress, and they have done that with their police stations. So in this case here, they're looking to do same thing to Dr. Yan, but they know that there's this network set up, this anti-CCP network. Okay, much like in the old Soviet style, okay, one of the key aspects you want to do is understand how wide this network is, because obviously there's sources inside China, inside the CCP, at high levels and in secure positions, because the media has unveiled some very significant information over the last several years, right? What also people don't understand is Mr. Lude, from my understanding, was a former CCP member, because you have to, if you're going to do business, do that. But much like in the Soviet Union, people have become disillusioned and they understand what the evils of the regime are. So my understanding is Mr. Lude also had to flee China, also had to go through a number of different duress and such. But what if you could talk to that for just a second, or?
Well, no, just want to let you know, Luda is never the CCP member like me. That's why he can't become billionaire. And also, Luda has done some organized, like the people around him to do the protest for some unfair things happened in his cities. So he went to the blacklist. It's kind of at that time when he flee to the United States, he knows that because people around him are being arrested by CCP gradually, and he knows it will come to him because he was a leader, and so he can't stay there anymore.
No, thank you for clarifying that. So my apologies to Mr. Lude and stuff like that. But you could see that the web that they're weaving here, okay, the web that they've woven to try to infiltrate this network and understand the people of the network, because they're smart. They realize that just taking out one person or two people is not going to stop the network. So they have to infiltrate it. So when we come back from break, we're going to talk and follow on with this discussion with Dr. Yan.